I think that the winners will be deserved.
Friendship.
And everyone will win, and no one will lose.
I like.
And everyone
Did
will
you
go
guys see
home
this
happy.
disclaimer at the top that said "actual recording is higher quality"? Or is that just
Does
on
that go?
my side?
Does it go for the quality of the substance of our
Yeah.
points? As
I should
well?
put my
know.
fidget item down. It's probably making clicking noises.
I can't hear it.
I truly did get emotional because I was, the nominations happened, whatever, and then responding in the moment. But then I Googled Oscar nomination totals because I like to look at those numbers, and I like to imagine like the big fat 11 or the big fat 9 at the top, for the
Or
Academy Award.
13 for One Battle After Another.
And then when I read the 16, I seriously got emotional about
It's
Sinners.
totally
I
insane. And I love that it's 16 because that means they would have broken the record even without the casting Oscar.
That's right.
Even without
that's right.
casting, because I wondered
It
if
still would have
people
been
were
the
going to
most
be like,
nominated movie of all time.
right? Because I
Anytime
wondered if people were going to
anything-
use that as a caveat and be like, well,
Yeah.
they added a
Well,
category.
anytime anyone breaks a record in Hollywood, there's always a caveat to it. And with this, it's so easy to be like the casting Oscar, the score, the song. And it's like, well, it's a movie with music tied deeply into it. How is it like a cheat to
Yeah.
like
It's
reach
not a cheat.
16
It
by
had it
having
all.
score and song?
It has
It
excelled
quite
in all of
simply
the
had it all.
categories.
Yeah. The Delroy Lindo nomination is
That one
monumental.
blew my hair back. Are
Are they all in separate categories, or were there two songs, or was Miles Canton nominated and I forgot?
Miles is not nominated. I think it's only one song that's nominated.
one
So
song?
it is all-
and it just across
all-
the board got technicals.
Basically every feature film category.
Yes.
It got every.
I don't know how
single
many there
technical.
are exactly.
At least
Yeah.
16.
And like it only missed lead actress, essentially,
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah, that's
there
pretty
was
much
one.
the only miss. Because it hits every box. It hits.
Yeah.
visual
Michael B.
effects.
Jordan is
No,
the
that's
lead
right.
actress
Makeup.
as well as the lead actor.
So you take out your short categories, documentary, animated feature. This is very interesting, just counting off the things it's not eligible for. But yes, everything. You could argue that Haley Steinfeld could be eligible for Best Actress
Right.
if you wanted to be a stickler about it. But I don't think it's a stretch to say it was nominated in every eligible category.
Yeah.
It made a lot of money.
It was, and so
Yeah, I think the goodwill's through
I'm
the
rooting
roof.
for him over Paul, I think.
I'm not, but only because
I'm
I like
happy
One
for
Battle
either.
better. Of
I'm
course.
happy for either. Like
I am
do-
happy for either of them
I
too.
do
I'll cry
wonder-
if Paul wins.
I do wonder if these nominations in this record-breaking moment will give it momentum, will push, change the tide. I mean, there is love for it.
I think it's got screenplay locked
over
up.
one battle, but I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't know. I'm not in the voters' brains, so I don't know.
I think it's got screenplay locked up. I think that One Battle After Another is unstoppable in Best Picture, but I can understand the case to the contrary. But it only really missed in lead actress, and that is a performance that, from what I was reading on some like industry insider, articles, that voters were torn on whether to put her in supporting or lead. And so
And I
I don't
think that's
actually,
why
I don't
Mescal
read into,
missed
I don't
too.
read into the snub
Yeah.
whatsoever with Chase Infinity. So
Yeah.
I think Center's overperformed, which is thrilling, and which to me
Yeah.
means it is guaranteed walking away. It's leaving here with something. It's leaving with screenplay. It's probably
The thing about the
leaving with at
concept
least
of
4 other
snubs,
Oscars too.
I would like to point out is like someone has to come in sixth. You can't really say something is a snub unless you saw the vote totals and there was like a huge drop off. If Chase Infinity got like 20% less than whoever came in fifth place. You know
Right.
what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it could have been one
The
vote
concept
off.
of a snub, I think, is stupid.
It's also, was it a snub, or did Kate Hudson run a really strong campaign?
Right.
It's like Song Sung Blue.
She knows
was a
everyone.
perfectly
Yeah.
timed, perfectly run campaign.
Yep.
Managed to position herself as an underdog, even though she is literally the daughter of Goldie Hawn.
Right.
Like she couldn't be more industry insider, and yet that entire campaign, I think, flawlessly pulled off. Like she's the little engine that could.
Yeah.
I know I've been texting about this in the group chat, but I still find it so fascinating how thrown off course we were with sentimental value in the SAGs.
Yeah.
Like how
It does
wrong they
fascinate
got
me.
it. How
Did-
wrong they got it.
Was
and like
it
that
we
heat never went
confirmed
away.
that it
I
was
get-
It was
eligible.
eligible.
It was eligible.
They just completely
weren't
left it out.
interested.
Well, I have a theory on this.
not
so
interested. Didn't
correct
see
me
the
if
movie. I don't know.
correct me if I'm wrong, and someone will. It'll be one of you, or hopefully someone. Actually, if I'm wrong, someone please say something just to get some.
Email us at moviesimopod
yeah.
at gmail.com.
Leave a review on Apple Podcasts, 5 stars. Okay, so the way that the way that the Actor Awards voting works
The
is that
Actor
a
Awards.
randomly selected group of SAG-AFTRA voters, or members rather, are chosen to be members of a nominating committee, effectively.
Yeah.
So I know people who've ended up on this committee. They don't strike me. I mean, they don't strike me as people who would love sentimental value. Not that they would have yawn for and turn it off, because didn't The Secret Agent get in there? You know, for best
I don't
actor.
even remember.
But I actually don't think it did. I think all international films at the Actors Award
Well, there
this
you go.
year got nothing.
The point I'm
And
making
that
is
was like a big deal.
the reason why I think you end up with some idiosyncratic nominations every year at the Actor Awards, like Sarah Silverman ending up there for I Smile Back, or Emily Blunt, who would go on
Wagner
to
Moore
win-
did not get the nomination.
did not,
at the
or
Actor
Emily
Awards.
Blunt, who went on to win SAG for A Quiet Place. It's an idiosyncratic committee
She
of
won?
SAG-AFTRA members. Yeah, she won. It's not reflective of how the actors branch feels about the film. It is a random selection of members, and it is a roll of the dice. And when you look at what did get
More and
nominated,
more feels that way.
those movies seem more likely to me to appeal to your average, actor in Hollywood who is putting up 3 jobs a year, with one line of dialogue, if that.
Yeah.
My one friend who is a member of SAG, I asked her if she liked Sentimental Value. She said she hated it, and I was like, well, there you go.
Hated it?
That's all you need.
What did they hate about it?
She couldn't really articulate it.
She's
She
probably
was
just
like,
bored.
I just didn't like it.
Gestures in Norwegian.
I mean, I love Trier, and even it was kind of.
And she was a huge
shrug.
fan of Worst Person, so.
Same. So I think, but I do find it fascinating. I love saying the word fascinating tonight.
It's fascinating.
That it even got like an editing award or editing nomination.
Yeah.
I mean,
That means
As soon as I saw that, I
It's-
realized
I
Trier
was
was
like,
getting
yeah.
a director, and I was
yeah.
right.
Once
agree.
I saw that, I was like, I was really betting on Secret Agent director now.
I
but
will
once I saw
say
that, I was like,
the
it's
very first nominee that was announced was Best Supporting Actress. The first name read
Elle Fanning. I was like, it's-
oh, buckle up.
It's
over.
over.
We're in. It's sentimental time. I knew that was my feeling too. When Elle was the first name, I was like, yep.
I'm thinking of Dakota today.
I'm
She
often
put in
thinking of
the
Dakota.
work.
She did.
She put in the work. She continues to put in the work.
What's the phrase? She walked so Elle could run.
Yeah.
Dakota,
I'm a big Elle
is-
Fanning fan, but I never thought. I just kept thinking about Elle Fanning today
Dakota
in terms
has
of
a TV show. Or
when we
did.
were
No,
when
there's
we were-
no problem with
No.
Dakota. Just that she was older. She was there
I'm just
first.
thinking. The reason I bring up Dakota is I have been thinking a lot today since the nominations came out, like my formative film going years when I was a preteen, and Dakota Fanning, as we all remember, I hesitate to say was shoved down our throats because she's so talented. She wasn't forced on anyone, but Dakota was the story, and Elle was always the, Elizabeth Olsen to the side. And then, by the
Yes.
time we got to college, then Elle is starting to
flipped.
pop up in more things, and then here
Elle
we
was
are.
in Super 8.
Elle was in.
Oh,
Who
that's
could forget
right.
Super 8?
Little baby.
Where's your J.J. Abrams movie, Dakota?
She got to work with Denzel though.
She did. And
She
Brittany
did.
Murphy.
And who? Brittany Murphy?
Brittany Murphy
Oh,
in Uptown Girls.
Uptown Girls.
Never forget. Dakota has had an illustrious career. Still
She
is.
really has. And
What
she's
was
in
except
Twilight.
I cannot remember the name of her TV show, but she had
I don't
one.
know, but
All
she was
her fault. All is lost. One
the
of those.
Robert Redford movie.
No, it's like she's
Elle
Oh, you
Fanning
don't
on a
mean the
boat.
Sarah Snook show?
she's
She's on the Sarah Snook show.
Oh,
Would
was
you
she
not
on
watch,
the,
like-
was she on the Sarah Snook? All her fault.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
good.
that's-
No, I was thinking of like some period piece she was in.
I don't know.
Isn't this entertainment?
But I would- yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say,
Trying
but
to think of a show.
I would watch Dakota Fanning in a
I'm gonna Amy
survivalist
Poehler
drama
Google it.
where she's alone on a boat, though. Like her all is
that would
lost.
be
I would
good.
watch that.
Mm-hmm.
She was great
would
in
be
Once
fun.
Upon a Time in Hollywood.
She was.
As I want to say, I know it's not Squeaky Fromm, but the one
War
'cause
of
that's
the
who-
Worlds.
Isn't that who
That-
tried to shoot Nixon?
I don't know.
Anyway, moving on. My favorite nomination was Avatar: Fire and Ash for Best Costume Design, and that's my
Oh,
last
yeah.
thought on the Oscars.
Wait, did it
Avatar
get
got like
nominated for
3
costume design?
nominations.
That Avatar got a costume design nomination
That
and
doesn't even
not
make
a Best
sense.
Picture nomination is, I think, the story that no one's talking about with the nominations today. No, I'm serious. Like,
I think
how
you're
do
gonna
you
have to
garner
write about that.
How do you garner enough support? There's not a crazy case, but how do you garner so much passion
The
in the costume
alienist.
branch? What's the alienist?
Alienist.
Dakota
What's that?
Fanning's show.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Avatar. I'm like,
Well,
is
they
that the
are
name of
also
the
alienists.
I'm like, is that the type of garb that you were describing that they're
Yes,
wearing?
they
Like
they
an
wear the
alienist aesthetic?
alienist garb.
I guess it's for like Varung's, headpiece. I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's a
But
great.
isn't it
I
Nomination.
literally thought it has to be for her costume.
Yeah,
But
and it's a
isn't
great
the
nomination.
costuming CGI? So how do you?
I mean, the production design is
Oh.
also largely CGI, and it won production design in 2009.
Yeah.
I'm fine.
Now
with it.
Who knows
That's-
how they think.
I don't have a problem with it.
Fascinating.
I
Well, and
still
also-
think that the story of the year is that Wicked got 0 nominations, which is just
Unbelievable.
so
Which
funny.
which
0.
is very very hilarious, but not at all surprising to me because
I still thought it was going to get in, even though it makes sense that it's
The
like, well, it was
other craft
really just
movies showed
one
up.
big production. Everyone did the same work on both movies at the same time.
I think
I
other
still-
crafts showed up. Frankenstein
Yeah.
steals the crafts.
Yeah.
Sinners is a crafts movie. F1 is a sound movie.
Right.
Like it couldn't even get in for sound.
I think with Wicked for Good, I think one brave person raised their voice to say, "This sucks," right? Like this looks like pure shit, right? And I think that gave permission to a lot of people. I'm
Yeah.
like mostly joking, but I do think that there was a ripple when once someone finally broke the silence on we don't actually like this one, right? That
Yeah.
gave other people permission not to just check it for costumes.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have hated if it got into costumes. I think the costumes are good in both of those movies. But I mean, for the sex shawl alone.
But there's other movies with costumes.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't
That's
have
really-
nominated it for anything. I was so scared
And
listening
the
to those
box office
horrible
bombed.
original songs that it was going to take up too.
It didn't bomb.
No, it did. It did not bomb, but it did not have legs, so it could not.
It
kick
did not
you.
have legs.
So it could not kick you.
It bombed enough.
If we're gonna say that Wicked bombed, then that means that Avatar: Fire and Ash also bombed.
Yeah,
You
well,
have to give it.
this is
I
an
would say they
interesting
both
conversation.
underperformed expectations.
This is an interesting conversation. I wouldn't compare the two, except to say that they didn't have the legs that Way of Water and Wicked One did. However, as of today's recording, Avatar: Fire and Ash has only not been number one at the box office, I think 2 days, possibly 3, because it's been a couple days since I checked. So it has legs, but it's not the commanding strength
No.
of Way of Water's.
It's like
box
$1
office
billion
returns.
below. Way
It'll
of Water.
gross. What's the final total on Way of Water? 2 point.
like 2.7,
Oh, it's higher than I thought.
or maybe that's
Yeah.
the first
And
Avatar.
I think that
I mean, it's at
shows
one
that the
point
money
like 3,
matters.
1.4 now, and I think that it'll probably finish because it's still number. If it's not number 1 today, it's like number 2. Funny enough, Zootopia 2 was the thing that beat it at the box office the other day.
Of course.
That's talk about legs.
That thing has
the most
legs.
I knew there were
popular
giraffes
movie.
in
It's
that
about
thing, but
snakes.
those are some long legs. Yeah, they say there are no legs on a snake, and yet Zootopia
And,
2.
yeah,
Oh,
it's got legs.
Anyways,
Way of Water
this is
is
all
at
to say-
2.3.
So
Excuse me.
it'll come in within just my estimate on this within $500 million. But to be clear, that would still be $1.7 billion.
Right.
I don't know. I feel like this costume nomination changes.
But it really
everything for the
needed to
Avatar
get
narrative.
to like
Two.
2 billion.
That's
to
what
be
they said.
considered a in profit.
I get that, but I think if it gets to 1.7, which I think it will, because it's not sprinting 1 month in like Avatar: Way of Water was, but it's still got a nice pace at the box office. If it closes at 1.7 on secondary markets, like, will it reach 2 billion eventually?
Yeah.
Maybe, probably in a few years. I don't know. I mean,
I
this is
do
where my
think
expertise
number
is over.
4 gets the green light, and then it becomes a question of, is Jim gonna do it?
To be clear, the only reason I care about the box office or know anything about the box office is because I have so much invested in that happening.
So much stake
Yeah.
in 4
I have
happening.
so much investment in 4 happening.
To me, the worst nomination is Fartenstein.
Haven't seen it.
And that's a film
But I like
think
the way
is
you
just
say that.
okay. I think it's a great crop of movies. I can't wait to see The Secret Agent.
Oh, you haven't seen
Yeah.
The Secret Agent yet?
No, I'll be waiting for VOD because I didn't want to trek
In the
out to my
next couple
illustrious
weeks.
Ann Arbor, Michigan theater.
Sick. Well, I look forward to your thoughts on it.
I still
think
haven't
that-
seen Blue Moon.
Oh yeah, Blue Moon. I haven't seen that.
Neither have
one.
I. I could go on about my thoughts on its Los Angeles distribution plan, but literally no one wants to hear that. But I am baffled by the way that film was released in Los Angeles for audiences, not for voters. Clearly that worked out great. But at the AMC anyway, there was only a little window of time to see it, and it was like leaving theaters
missed
just
it.
as the buzz was ramping up on that.
I wonder if it'll
is
come
weird.
back.
I hope that it will. I'd like to see it in theaters.
Which nomination kicked, or was Sorry Baby even close to that like 6th slot for original, or is that more like 7th behind like Weapons?
Well, Ben, I'm curious
I
for your
don't know.
thoughts on this first.
Yeah.
Because I would have liked to have seen a Sorry Baby original, but I don't even think it was.
I
within...
have no idea if that movie is known to people who
People.
are not gay in this industry.
That's why I wanted your take on it first.
That's fair. That's fair. I do think
Which doesn't
it's
necessarily mean...
it's like Julia Roberts knows about it, and like
Yeah.
gay people.
Well, I wondered if there was going to be a bit of a Julia bump and getting more eyes on it, and there
There
very
was a
well
big bump on HBO
on
Max,
Letterboxd.
they announced.
Oh, there you go. But even still, I mean, that was 10 days ago, I think, were the Golden
Yeah.
Globes, and even with a spike in watching Sorry Baby, Sorry Baby probably was like 10th in the voting, before.
Yeah.
before
I think
then.
that
I
was
don't
a
know.
pipe
Haven't
dream
seen it.
to hope for
looking
that.
forward to seeing it.
Same,
I
haven't
just saw
seen it.
Everyone who
I saw
sees
in
it
one of
loves it.
Oh, everyone loves
or
it. It
really
is-
respects it.
It is.
Yeah.
It is a fantastic debut. I just saw it in one of the snubs lineups because that's every headline because that's what gets clicks. It was like "Sorry Baby" and screenplay is a snub. That's not a snub.
Yeah. It just didn't get nominated.
It just didn't get nominated, and it would have been nice if it did, but it didn't.
Exactly.
Allegedly, we're here to talk about some topics. Should we
have
introduce
topics.
the podcast? Should we?
Yeah.
Should we?
We
I mean,
already
also
talked
we could keep talking about the Oscars, which is
Yeah.
I mean,
No.
people have had a week to digest the Oscar nominations by the time this comes out. Mm-hmm.
Enough Oscar
And
talk.
no one will have talked about the Avatar costume nomination enough. So we
right.
will be breaking that
I'm
story.
still. I
Be
did not
breaking new
grasp
ground.
that nomination happened. I love.
I
that
thought it was getting in for Best Director as soon as I saw the costume nomination.
You were like,
it's
"This is
happening.
it."
It's all good. That
like,
was
is
your
it-
Elle Fanning moment.
Is it just between December 17th and December 29th? Because I feel like James
I
Cameron's
was
getting nominated for
convinced.
Best Director.
Absolutely.
It's a good
You guys
example.
had me convinced.
He's Jim Cameron. Of course he's getting in.
The
You
way
guys
that
had
the
me both
algorithms,
convinced.
the way that algorithms create these echo chambers on our phone, this is a great example of how
Yeah.
Oh my God. I
crazy
just had
and delusional
Jimmy
it can make
Cam.
you.
Yeah.
That's all I was getting. And by the way, I'm still in a group chat called We Love Avatar, where we are sharing Avatar bullshit every single day.
Yes.
But those 10 days, like right around Christmas,
Felt like you could fly.
I mean, I was on the back of an e-cron, baby. I was connecting my tail.
I don't even know the name of the creature.
I love you. I love that. I truly love. You know all of the names and
I don't know anything.
the etymology of words, how the Navi people came to be.
Sorry, I as soon as
Who
I
said they
that,
don't have any cultural impact? Daniel knows it all.
I no, and
He
and
has been
Oh,
impacted.
right here.
and I'm catching strays every day of the week from people about it. I got a text today about it. About have you guys seen the guy going viral who's like tattooed his entire body blue except for his nipples and like drives like a Navi truck?
No.
Because like
No.
Your
Neytiri emblazoned on the side. Yeah, and someone basically sent that to me, and I was like, okay,
Yeah.
this movie has
Your
made $1.5 billion at the box office. I'm not like this freak over here who can't get
Yeah.
enough of Avatar. Having said that, I am literally seeing it tomorrow.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Before it
very
goes
excited.
away. Before it goes
I don't think it's going to. I'm really interested to see. Sorry, I hope this is interesting to somebody. I'm just finding the Avatar: Fire and Ash box office situation fascinating, and its theatrical rollout fascinating, because this awful Chris Pratt movie Mercy is coming out this weekend. That's an IMAX release, so that's
And
going to get
Silent Hill.
screens.
It's taking the IMAX screens. Here's what I'm. It's not going to take all the showtimes, but what I'm curious of, in major markets anyway.
Yeah.
What I'm curious about is when that movie, and I'll eat my words, does not have a very illustrious box office run in a week or two. Are you going to see Avatar: Fire and Ash coming back on those IMAX screens because Mercy is showing diminishing returns on the IMAX
Very
screens?
possibly.
I cannot believe
It's an
they're
interesting question.
I don't know what else
banking
is
that
coming down the pike.
Yeah, I don't have that
on
information in front of me.
IMAX
And this is
screens.
not a contemporary film podcast, so I
Right.
don't need to look it up.
We're not talking about. I mean, we spent 45 minutes talking about the Oscars, but
All right,
this is
let's
not
move
a
on.
contemporary film.
Who are we?
podcast.
Where are we? And what are our topics?
This is
Well-
Movies IMO. I was going to say a minute ago, we have not. This is housekeeping on the mic. We have
Yeah.
not discussed how we're going to do this transition.
Yes.
In the future, go forward, as they say in corporate.
How do we synergize and move forward?
I think
How do we optimize format? I guess we just say that this is Movies IMO. We say our names, and then we say briefly what our format is, which is that every week each of us brings like a pet project topic to the table that is from film or television, but can also be from culture writ large. And we are going to talk about those three topics that are entirely directed by our whims and what we want to talk about. And then we should probably say what they are. And then we can either keep talking about the Oscars or we can jump into one of them.
I think we can jump in.
Let's jump in.
My name
first?
is Ben MB.
Hello.
Should I say my topic as I do my introduction to myself?
Yeah. Oh.
Or are we going to say
Yeah.
all of our
Well-
names? Yeah.
Maybe we should say all our names. Okay, what if we said all our names and then we said what the topics are. But then to kick off the topics, the person who's introduced the topic should just say a couple words about why they've chosen their topic, and then that can be the kickoff to talking about that topic.
Okay.
We can probably refine this, but I don't
Yeah.
really give a shit. So
Yeah,
in
it's
the
not
meantime,
super important. Other than just like it was like there was that awkward half-second lull. Like, this is the moment where we should be transitioning to the
Whoa.
next phase of the podcast.
Whoa.
yes.
Someone's
I mean,
got to take the reins.
I
We
think
need a
the
musical
fact
interlude.
that we didn't go back and add audio to the end of the last episode saying what the topics were going to be just kind of
Yeah.
shows how much we are winging this, and that's okay because it's really not about
Building the
it's not
plane
about the
while
polish.
flying. Another corporatism that I heard just today.
I unfortunately do like that metaphor. And
I mean,
have
it makes
used
sense.
in non-business
That's the thing
ways.
about
It's
corporate
all
metaphors
about-
is they make sense.
Yeah, and
Except
I
for
actually
what's the
like
why?
that one too because if don't wait till it's perfect because then you'll never do it.
I agree, and we are all high-flying fags, and we are flying high
Wait,
in a plane that we are building in midair. It's another Richard Linklater film, Last Flag Flying.
Last flag flying.
The sequel to
Is
The
that a
Last Detail,
Linklater
Brandon.
movie?
Yeah, and it's the sequel to The Last Detail.
Is
Everyone knows this.
Last fag flying me at Akbar at 4 a.m. Please tell me that was on the mic and I didn't have a
that was.
hallucination about
No, that happened.
whale
That
recording.
happened.
That
Yeah,
one
we were
happened.
we were in our group chat the other day, yesterday,
God.
and Brandon was talking about his memory of us talking about the whale.
I was
on
convinced.
Movies IMO, which we might
And-
talk about eventually because I might choose that as a topic.
And don't you remember, like, you talked about Hong Chow just, like,
I-
elbowing Brendan Fraser?
Absolutely. I talked about that on twitter.com. You know?
And it was so
And
potent,
perhaps
I just,
in
like,
text
visualized
messages.
it.
Made such an impact on you that you were sure that I said it out loud.
Yes, and at your dining room table.
In the apartment I don't live in anymore.
Yeah, that in 2022 when the film came out, you would not live there for 3 years
Yeah.
or 2 years or something like that.
Yes.
When did you move to your
Oh
current
my
apartment?
God. I
Just
also time
before
traveled.
lockdown. You
Yes.
time traveled.
It
'Cause
wasn't
didn't
even
we-
that apartment.
Didn't we do our best of? Didn't we come back and do a best of episode for fun?
We did, yeah.
And we did
The best,
that
We did a
in-
best of 2019, which was recorded in my new apartment.
Now
And
your
then-
current apartment.
Now my current apartment.
Cool.
So there you go.
You're going to have to find that tweet.
There's the
Twitter's gone, baby.
Yeah.
Oh,
everything's
it
been
got
nuked.
abolished.
It's been wiped. The servers have been wiped.
Yeah. We're post Twitter in
So
our lives.
this is movies IMO. We are gonna have to write a little one sentence description or something that we can rattle off during
Of
this
what we
during
are.
this time. But
We're back and we're older.
We're back and we're older. We used to be alive and then we died and now we've been resurrected and not in a
Yes.
hacky way. And we're talking
Somehow we're
about
back.
movies and it'll be our
about
opinion.
topics.
It'll just
Did you
be our
say your
opinion.
name?
I'm Daniel Krug.
I'm Brandon Kirby.
And I'm Ben MB, but I said that minutes ago. Today, we're going to be talking about, I got it, a burst of energy.
Today.
Hey, you guys.
Hey, guys.
My topic is how did you phrase it? The
The Golden Age.
golden age of Gwyneth Paltrow, 1995 to 2005. We're gonna dig in. Are you guys going to say your topics now, or am I
Yeah,
just
I think we should. I
digging
think we
in?
should say our topics at the top, and
All right.
or no, just go. We'll say ours as we go on.
Just go.
No, just go.
Dive into Gwen.
So, Gwyneth Paltrow is someone who I feel I grew up with, and I got to watch her blossom from a young woman.
She's like a childhood friend.
She's my childhood friend. Her godfather,
neighbors.
Steven Spielberg, and I were, very.
You sound like your
Chummy.
middle school English teacher speaking at high school graduation.
Yes, Gwen.
Well, no, I'll just say the movies that I have been since the release of Marty Supreme, in which she
Supreme.
delivers an excellent performance. I have been eager to watch some blind spots and revisit some favorites, and I just think she has a very compelling screen energy, and I would like to bring that to the table here tonight.
I am so thrilled that you've brought this topic here tonight because I have had a
Same.
ball. I have had a ball the last week digging into the golden age of Gwyneth Paltrow. And I'll say why and then I'll kick it to Brandon, but simply because I think I've really taken her for granted as a screen persona. Like specifically her star image is something that I don't think we see enough of these days. But we also don't see her on our screen very often these days either, largely because of, being
She has another
submerged
job.
in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Marvel.
And then also, you remember the trial and everything, like Gwyneth Paltrow, and then Goop.
Oh, I was
forgot
going to
about
bring
the
up
trial.
the
Oh,
trial.
no, I think
Love it all.
I have a theory for why the trial captivated people so much as it pertains to her star persona.
Because she is.
But it
captivating.
has been so nice to dig into the work because between Goop, the trial, the MCU, the fact that she seems completely disinterested in appearing on movie screens, it is so nice to actually consider what makes her such a compelling screen presence. And I think she should probably have been nominated for Marty Supreme.
I really I do wish she was in the conversation because it really felt like a reunion seeing her on the big
Yeah.
screen again, seeing her in a real role in over a decade. It was just very, very nice.
It's also
She
the
has
type of...
said
Go ahead.
she's ambivalent towards acting these days.
It
and-
was like a privilege to get to see her.
Absolutely. I think the
agree.
ambivalence is something that comes across in a lot of her screen performances, or
Yeah.
sometimes an aloofness, which I think is so pleasurable to watch. But I would have loved her to be in the conversation for Marty Supreme because it is the type of supporting performance that it's not like they used to nominate 5 of these in a category at the Oscars. But you think of Sylvia Miles in Midnight Cowboy, for instance, or Susan Terrell in Fat City. I guess Susan Terrell's in that film a little bit more, and then obviously like your Beatrice Straits, but a real supporting performance and not somebody who is giving a co-lead. And I'm not talking about category fraud. I just mean I miss when we used to reward supporting players who were putting in 5, 7, 10, 15 minutes of screen time in a 2-hour movie, and that could be enough to appreciate the performance. And now the Gwyneth Paltrow, Marty Supreme performance, I feel like is always going to have this element, for those of us who were here for the release anyway, of like, that she should have been considered and she never got a fair shake in the race. I don't think that's the predominant narrative. I'm just like, it's silly that we even have to qualify to be like, how come she never was even really up for consideration here? Because to me, it's such a commanding performance, and she's on the BAFTA long list. She's on the BAFTA long list, and I hope that she pulls off that nomination.
Yeah, I feel like she got overshadowed by Odessa in the narrative, and it seemed
The campaigning,
the campaigning. The company probably put more money into Odessa's campaign.
Yes.
Maybe Gwyneth said, "I don't want to do that.
The circus
I don't want to
act.
go to those
She doesn't
events."
wanna do
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
She said she'll do, Amy Poehler's podcast, and that's it.
and have a great time.
Some
there.
of the best Amy Poehler clips yet.
We're with Gwyneth. They were talking about like bedtimes. It was like
It's fantastic. When she was talking, was it on Amy Poehler when she was talking about trading music recs with Timmy? Or no, that was were they actors on actors together, or
that was like a thing.
They
with
did some
Vogue.
interview together.
No,
I
wanna
Gwyneth was
say.
with Elordi. Actors
okay,
on actors.
they did some interview together where Gwyneth was talking about how much she loves Joni Mitchell, and Timmy was clearly trying not to laugh in her face about it.
I
And
think
then
that was Vogue.
And then he recommended that she listen to Wise Blood, which is a great recommendation if you like Joni Mitchell.
She was
but then
so confused.
she
at
was
the
so
words
shocked.
Wise blood.
Yeah, which I think he mispronounced as Ways Blood. And so she was like, Ways Blood. Like
That
sure.
interview between the two of them was so fun.
So charming. So charming.
My thrill with Gwyneth was being able to see Shakespeare in Love for the first time, which I had never seen, which was
That was
just
your first time.
first time. So that was
a
absolutely
movie I
fantastic.
quite enjoy. Like it's a ridiculous movie. I think one of my Letterboxd logs is like, this is a movie made by mentally ill people, and that's how movies should be made.
It was like very chronically like 90s. It just felt very like the first 25 minutes just like, whoa, hey, whoa, what's going on? And then it like settles in and it gets really good. But and then Sliding Doors on Criterion Channel, what a treat, because I always used to say like, oh, in the Sliding Doors version of my life, thank God I finally watched the movie, because now you realize, oh, both versions of your life fucking suck.
Are bad.
There's
no good version on the other side of the door.
You can be with a sloppy cheater, or you can be with a guy who quotes Monty Python nonstop.
Yeah.
It's a real
lose
situation.
Why he was so annoying. He was like just quoting Monty Python,
and she was like,
and she was so enamored.
I can't get enough of this guy.
At the end, she quotes Monty Python to him.
That's the last line of the movie.
Eternity.
Freeze frame.
That's the line that we land on.
She learned how to be a cool
Freeze
girlfriend.
frame.
And we also watched this week A Perfect Murder, in which she wears Prada in every scene, and in which she is almost murdered and gives one of the best performances of someone being almost murdered that I've ever seen.
I was going to bring that up.
movie.
I was going to bring that up. I think that she is an underrated physical performer. And the moment when she finally, because I feel like with Gwyneth Paltrow, there's a stiffness a lot of the time, and people just assume, oh, that's her. She's icy. She's distant. Like, she's just being herself. I think that's wrong, of course. But what you're talking about was one of the most striking moments of the movie, because when she survives this murder, she's like leaning up against the sink, I think, and then she just collapses like a bag of potatoes on the ground, and just like truly a slump. Like she is able to thrust all her weight to the bottom of her body and then just sink like an anchor. Like, that's a tremendous moment of acting.
Yes,
And I'm like, it's
physical
melodramatic in the best way. It's opera.
So that scene, I like ratatouille'd because I was like, oh, I haven't seen this movie before. But that scene I had seen for some reason, but the rest of the movie I had not. I guess like the sexy
Probably on cable.
yeah,
Definitely on cable.
it definitely must have been on cable, and like my parents were probably watching it, and I like came in for the murder and like left for everything else. I don't know. I don't know.
The murder is just the only thing that burned itself into your brain.
It is burned in there, like her jabbing that thermometer in his throat and the pile of blood.
Yeah.
I was like, I've seen this image.
I love when we get the insert shot of the meat thermometer in the drying rack.
Yeah.
Oh,
Because
you
we
know
know
that
it. We
baby's
know it's
coming
coming
back.
back.
We know it's
it's coming back.
That tight zoom or whatever it is.
Oh, we're coming back. All right. I
What
didn't
a
really
film.
love A Perfect Murder.
No.
I didn't feel that it implicated the audience enough in
No.
order to be truly Hitchcockian, which it's
Yeah.
going for. But I think Gwyneth is a real treat in it. And
I also love Michael Douglas.
I mean, Michael
I just
Douglas
love him.
misbehaving. Anytime he's like walking through the
What could be
meatpacking
better?
district and an infidelity thriller, that's the stuff. That is
could
the
be
stuff.
better?
coat.
What's better?
That doesn't look like happiness to see me.
He's so good at being a
Just
fucking
sings off the
scumbag.
page.
Just a slime ball.
The execs at Warner Brothers were like, this is the script. We've got it.
We got it in one. We got it in one. I will say that. Well, no, I won't. I was going to say something about Michael Douglas. It doesn't matter. My favorite Michael Douglas performance is Wonder Boys because it's against type of like the.
He's not a slime ball.
Greed is good.
He's not greed as well, and whether or not he's greed is good,
Bad.
he's not like a horned up slime ball. You know.
I only like him when he's that disclosure.
Have you seen Wonder Boys, Brandon?
I have.
No, because he's not a greased up slime ball. Greed is
I-
good.
I would watch it. Also because Tobey Maguire plays like an ideal version of the college-aged film fag. He has like I think he carries like a VHS copy of Human Bondage in his backpack throughout the whole film. But Michael Douglas
Let me
plays
bookmark.
a perpetually stoned writing professor in like rainy Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Oh, this
And
does
it's a
sound
fall
fantastic.
movie, and it's like a screwball weekend on like the dean's weekend where he gets up to hijinks with his students, and he's sleeping with Frances McDormand, the dean's wife. It's great. It's so good, and he has writer's block. I love that movie.
Of course he does.
Sounds great.
I think we should talk about the trial because
Okay,
I think
yes.
the trial gets to the very heart of what makes Gwyneth Gwyneth.
Can I segue from Perfect Murder into that? Because I wanted to say sort of my theory on Gwyneth, having watched like 5 of her movies or whatever this week from the Golden Age, is that I think that Gwyneth Paltrow does an expert job of presenting the private self and like the personal world, meaning the face that she shows to some people, and then the rich interior world that she is concealing. And I think this is true in A Perfect Murder, of course, like especially in the ways in which she speaks to Michael Douglas, and then she'll turn her head and her face will just like immediately deaden from a smile. But you look at like Margot Tenenbaum, the whole idea of that character is the secretive private life. Shakespeare in Love, like obviously has a duplicity element as well. And I think that with this is my theory of the trial, is that because there is a distance between her and the audience and a lot of her work, even though I think she does a pretty good job of letting the audience in on what she's feeling, which is what is so impressive about this duality that I'm describing, is that it kind of punctured the facade and it gave people an opportunity to revel in this possibility of who she is as a person, which is rich and selfish and aloof and elitist and uncaring. I think there was a lot of projection going on that was easy with her because so many of her performances play in the tension between what she's presenting publicly and then how she actually feels. But then that's one theory of it anyway. But I want to know, Ben, what you think
I
about the
just
trial.
remember watching the updates of the trial every day for whatever that was, 2 weeks. And
Best 2 weeks of your life.
it started the public sentiment was like, God, can you believe her? Like, why is she going all the way to court? she should just settle. This is a waste of everyone's tax dollars. She must be in the wrong. And by the end of the trial, everyone was on her side. And she doesn't do anything to make you be on her side, but it's just very clear that she was correct and that this is a fraudulent lawsuit, and she is not going to let go of her principles to not have to go to court, you know?
What was it that she whispered to the man?
I wish you well. She put her hand on his shoulder,
Yes.
and she said, I wish
Blessings.
you well.
I mean it.
I mean it.
Truly blessings, I mean it.
I really mean it.
And she, like you say, with this duality of her, and I was thinking about this in the trial, and I thought about this in the Amy Poehler podcast, actually, is that she is both aloof and warm at the same time. Mm-hmm. There is an inviting nature to her. It sort of reminds me of Martha Stewart. There is an untouchability about her, but I'm also completely enveloped in their energy. It's very strange, and it's not something that can be taught. It's just who she is. And, you know, I think it speaks to also, like, Gwyneth has a really healthy sense of humor. Hi, Mom. Mom Crick is making an appearance.
I was waiting to make a comment.
Linda was just on the other side of my laptop, but she didn't come around. She was like, fuck
she interrupted you.
It's okay. But I don't remember where I was.
Well, I agree with you completely because I can't really describe how she does it either. I think it's just innate to her star persona and her screen presence. But she does have an ability to let you, the audience, into her private world when she wants you to. And that's what's fun about Perfect Murders, especially in Act 3. She does kind of keep you guessing a little bit about whether or not she is falling for Michael Douglas.
I remember what I was going to say.
Yeah, go ahead.
She has a really healthy sense of humor about herself without denying that that's still who she is, the elitist energy of her. Like, she knows that it's looked down upon by certain people, and she knows that it's funny, but she still is who she is, and she doesn't care if you like it. But she does recognize that it's funny, and she's able to, like, straddle those lines. And that comes through in her performances as well, including, like, The Talented Mr. Ripley we haven't brought up. I think she's remarkable in The Talented Mr. Ripley, back when she was Queen of Miramax.
Maybe her best. Maybe. I'd have to think about it. Maybe her best.
It's up there.
I mean, this is why, and I actually would like to go back to Talented Mr. Ripley, but this is why I watched View from the Top, which, Ben, I unfortunately didn't love as much as you did.
Oh, I love View from the Top.
Yeah, I really also wish I could have gotten there.
Rip-roaring stoned when I watched it, though. So.
Well, that, I don't know why I wasn't. That might have helped.
I was locked in from the moment. I was like, this is so good.
Wait, I didn't watch View from the Top. Did you both watch it recently?
I didn't watch it recently.
I watched it last night. But I don't have to talk about it live. I just wanted to.
I think I watched it in the wake of the trial.
I wanted to say, as it pertains to Ben's point,
I wanted to watch View from the Top.
She is, I think, very funny in that movie. I don't think it's a bad performance. I think, though, because she does always just have that sense of coming from the elite. And
that she can't be that character.
Like, she looks like she was raised on a country club, whether or not that's true. I don't know if Blythe Danner was a member at the country club. But I find her casting to be off in View from the Top in a way that's not her fault. But that's a Reese Witherspoon role.
I was just going to say they must have gone for Reese first.
Because it's a low status role. It's a striving role. It's someone who goes from the trailer park to Paris. And with Gwyneth, I just kind of don't. It doesn't feel condescending, which is a credit to her performance. But something feels off.
I thought she would Two Lovers.
That's my.
I also want to see
her favorite.
That's my favorite.
That's her best.
That's my favorite Gwyneth Paltrow performance. And she's again,
totally remarkable in that.
Goes back into that.
Picture.
Goes back into the duality, right? Like the way that she's presenting her. I won't say much specific since Brandon hasn't seen it, but the way that she presents herself to Joaquin, and then some of the decisions that she makes.
Yeah.
So much of the pleasure of that movie is trying to decipher this sort of Sphinx-like intelligence or Sphinx-like motive that is behind Gwyneth Paltrow
Like,
and why she's doing
she
the
should
things
have
she's
won an
doing.
Oscar for Two Lovers.
Correct. And I think that was the year that Sandra Bullock won for The Blind Side. Is that
See,
correct?
there you go.
I can do it.
brother.
Easy.
No,
swap.
sorry, no, it wasn't. It was 2008. No, it's between
year?
Marion Cotillard
Oh, it's
and
Kate
Sandra
Winslet.
Bullock. It's Kate Winslet.
The
I give it to.
reader.
No question. Do I give it to Gwyneth? No question.
But then when would you give Kate Winslet an Oscar?
I would have already given her Best Supporting Actress
Right.
for Sense and Sensibility.
Fair enough.
Would have already given it to her.
Great. Problem solved. We've solved it, Academy.
Done.
And then you could
did
give
the work
Kate
for you.
Blanchett the Oscar for Elizabeth instead
And then,
of Shakespeare in Love.
and then you would get Queen Elizabeth I winning in Best Actress and Queen Elizabeth II, or Queen Elizabeth winning Supporting Actress and Actress, right?
Yes, that year.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
how that
yeah,
would have
yeah.
happened.
Fun.
By the way,
Judi
Judi Dench, who is winning because of Mrs. Brown the previous year and not winning that year, but that's one of my favorite. That's not one of the best performances to ever win an Oscar in my opinion, but it is one of my favorite. And it goes back to what I was saying about we used to give Oscars to people who made the most out of their screen time. You know,
Yeah.
like
I love
she
when Judi
maximizes
Dench
her
goes,
6 minutes.
I know something about being a woman in a man's job. By
Girl
God,
boss.
I do know about that.
Girl boss.
Girl
Wait,
boss,
Did
Queen
Judi
Elizabeth
Dench
the First.
win for that?
Yes.
She sure did.
Oh,
Yeah.
she did. I thought only Gwyneth won.
No. That was truly the peak of Harvey Weinstein's power.
Yeah.
was the Shakespeare in Love running
Yeah.
the table. Won like
Yeah.
6 or 8 Oscars.
It won,
And
I think,
again, I like the movie, but
But it is kind of
that's
insane.
crazy.
And it's also
It's crazy.
hilarious that I forget his first name, but the Fine did not.
Oh,
the
Joseph
lead
Fiennes?
man Fine did not get
mean,
nominated.
I
I mean,
don't-
he doesn't
I
deserve
don't
it, but
think
like
too highly of that performance, but I don't
No, it's
dislike it
not-
either.
it's like fine, he's there, but like
Kind of
it's just
curious what
funny.
like a Paul Mescal would do with the material.
Yo,
perhaps?
what would Paul Mescal
love
do
to
with
know.
the material?
I will say I am a Tom Wilkinson over Jeffrey Rush person for Best Supporting Actor that year.
I would
agree.
and he did
I
get
would
the
agree.
Wilkinson did
Only
get the
because I
BAFTA
love Tom
nomination.
Wilkinson.
I mean, I
Jeffrey
think
Rush
about
got
Tom
nominated,
Wilkinson all of the time.
that was
I-
just
I-
like
we
such
miss-
a Jeffrey Rush moment, though.
Totally.
Like the late
Well, 'cause
90s.
Yeah.
He was
the
also
thing.
in Elizabeth. I believe
He
he,
had
was
just
also
won
in Elizabeth.
a couple years ago.
Who could forget Quills?
I like
That's
when
what he
Tom
won for, right?
Wilkinson's like
No,
yeah,
he won
Apothecary.
for Shine. Is
He
that
won
what
for
it's called?
Shine.
Shine.
No, that's 96, right? So
Yeah.
he'd won 2 years. Yeah, Shine. Who's in Quills? Is he in Quills? What is Quills? Is that the Marquis de Sade movie? I gotta watch Quills.
I
Okay,
know about
I'm-
Quills, but I
Future
don't know.
topic.
I couldn't
I'm
name
making a
who's
note.
in it.
Quills, future topic on
Quills.
this podcast.
I feel like I watched it
Right.
because maybe Judi Dench is in it.
Oh, that would
Kate
make sense.
Winslet's in it. Well, maybe Jim.
Is that
Broadbent's in it.
Iris?
Okay, so I almost watched Iris the other day until I read the log line, and I was like, I'm not watching that.
I love that
No,
we're
that-
talking about forgotten Oscar movies from our childhood.
Jim Broadbent won an Oscar for that movie.
That's right.
Yeah, it's crazy.
To me, he won for Moulin Rouge, which was the same year. He obviously like that gave him a substantial lift for him to win for Iris.
So I haven't seen Iris, and I know that he plays a man, I think, with dementia or Alzheimer's, and so and the movie hinges on the relationship between him and his wife, who's played by the titular Iris. So Judi Dench and then Kate Winslet in Flashback. I think, if I'm wrong, someone
He was
please
young
email
Iris. No,
us.
that's
let
all
us know.
correct.
But
I was going to
maybe
say Quills is Ed Harris and Marcia Gay Harden, but that's
Pollock. And don't get that confused with Liam Neeson and Laura Linney. That is, of course, Kinsey.
That's right, Kinsey.
That's, of course, Kinsey. We should talk about Quills. But Iris, for all I know, Jim Broadbent is undeniable in Iris. But
We
it's
should talk
funny
about
that they
Quills.
chose
It's fine.
Iris. That they chose Iris over Moulin Rouge. I mean, hindsight is 2020. But
the Best Picture
Moulin Rouge.
nominee, Moulin
That's what I'm
Rouge.
saying. That's what I'm saying. That would have been a great win.
It would have.
Of course, I haven't seen Iris. I'm going to watch Iris and be like,
You have to
Okay.
watch
Best
Iris
performance
and
I've
Got a
ever
whole
seen.
Quills.
list. All right, should we move
Iris,
on to another
Quills.
topic from Gwyneth? Or have we wrapped it up
I-
on Gwyneth?
I think we've wrapped it up on Gwyneth.
I think we've basically wrapped
Daniel,
it up on
it's your
Gwyneth.
turn.
Okay, so my topic is Hiroshi Teshigahara's The Face of Another from 1966. I chose this film because I finally watched Woman in the Dunes a couple of years ago, and I was so struck by it, and I was so struck by sort of the lightly surreal elements of it, and the way that at times you can't tell if you're watching a dream or watching something that is just truly stranger than fiction unfolding in front of you. And, of course, the luscious black and white poetic imagery, blah, blah, blah. So I'd wanted to watch this for a while, and I was feeling insane last week coming back from Palm Springs for work. And so I was looking over my watch list, and I saw that, and I'm like, I'm going to take a chance that I'm going to resonate with this in some way psychologically. And I did, but not really the way I was expecting to. But I was really excited to watch it. I thought it was great. All right, let's talk about the Pit. I actually, when I was watching The Face of Another after watching all of these Gwyneth Paltrow movies, I was like, we've got another duality. we've got another
It's
mask
duality,
situation.
baby.
We've got a public-private persona situation going on. I mean, I don't know. Where do you guys want to start with this? Should we talk about how perhaps it's a metaphor for westernization in the wake of World War II?
I didn't think about that because
Yeah,
I'm not
that's good.
smart, but that is
Yeah, I
good.
didn't go that far because I'm also. Well, I don't know
Well,
if you-
I mean,
I thought the
tied
guy was
in-
hot.
He was extremely good
Plus, that
looking.
mask went on.
Star of
Yeah.
high and low, right?
But yeah, I mean, you can look at it as that kind of metaphor. I think I put in my letterbox log. I
You
think it's
logged
kind of-
something interesting.
I think it's about the invention of the internet.
Which explain that.
Well, I mean, I can't explain it, but I think I want to hear from you guys first. I mean, do you guys want to talk about like the modernization elements of the film? Because that to me is tied into the internet read. Just that like there is. This
I
broken
haven't
world.
thought about that, so I don't have anything to say on that topic.
Well, then
You
I'd
know
like
what
to
I
hear
mean?
what.
Yeah,
I totally
my-
get it.
My read was just about not anything larger than just like identity. Like that's as far as I got with it.
And-
Something identity, and
I just wanted to make the
that
joke
itself
that the
resonated.
first time he's outside in the mask and he's like got his coat up and he's like a little timid walking around. I was like, that's how I have felt for the past 6 months every time I've gone outside. It's just like I'm vulnerable, I am unsafe, and I really was like, oh shit, this really captures what I'm going through. And I'm not.
So psychologically relevant.
Yes,
Yeah.
it was psychologically
It
relevant.
just,
Okay.
to
yeah,
me.
it just taps into a feeling, into a psyche that just makes you very uneasy and very uncomfortable, and how like you don't feel like yourself. What is self? Yeah, that's
Right.
kind of the vibes I was getting from it.
Well,
on top of
totally.
Just how
And
beautifully
why
it was shot.
do we need masks? And even if we have the mask that we asked for, how you have to sort of negotiate becoming that character.
Right.
Without
very
losing your
interesting.
mind, which is partly why I think it's about the invention of the internet. Is like this idea of adopting
That makes sense.
a new persona with a new
personas,
face.
new identities.
Exactly.
You're adopting an avatar, like in Jim
Yeah.
Cameron's
It's
Avatar.
kind of Avatar coded in that way.
Wow, it's actually just Avatar.
He's
I
becoming
guess-
a Na'vi.
It really just made me think so much about social media, and that in like the first 20 minutes of the film, because I feel like very quickly what's being foregrounded is one, just the isolation of modernity, and then on top of it, this sort of push and pull between self-loathing and then hatred of the society that you assume hates you, like a shallow society and your own self-loathing, and the battle that those two things are in, and the way that the internet can be. And then, of course, you bring in your mask metaphor and everything, but how the internet, I think, is very much engaged in that push and pull as well, which is why it's so toxic.
Yeah.
Like I think there's a feeling of like, do you want to join society or do you want to destroy society? What is actually your modus operandi by putting on this mask that you think will allow you to enter into it more without the loaded assumptions that you think people have about you?
Yeah.
I also
One thing
just
I was thinking,
thought it rocked.
No, you go.
No, I was just gonna say, I just thought it was insane that this came out in '66. It feels way more modern than '66.
Yeah.
The shot very early in the film of when he's getting the X-ray but his mouth is moving and you can hear his dialogue coming.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, we're in
Just
for some
everything
real
in the
postmodern
lab.
expressionism.
I loved the
Oh
look
my
of the
God.
lab.
With the glass.
Come on. I mean,
all those panels, and like
the
there would just be like
panels.
one shelf of glass vials in the background.
and then a wall of like silver cast ears
Yeah.
that he's standing directly in front of. And then every now and then we get a shot of just like a fake hand being thrust into a bucket of water.
I
Yeah.
love the hand in the water. First shot, last shot, right? I think.
Definitely happens at the
close to
beginning and
last.
happens at the end. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
The only thing I didn't love about the picture, I don't know that the subplot really worked with this woman at the beach. Like,
Right.
it's just like not tied in enough. Like, I was never like, oh, I hate this. I wish we were back in our main story. But it's just there seems like a missed opportunity to make it hit harder, I think.
Well, that's where I think a lot of the post-atomic bomb element is found. So I think it's like a thematic. I mean, I kind of agree with you. It worked for me largely as just I love that we slip into this other storyline without explanation, and I can't remember the exact cut the first time we go to the mental institute where she works. But I assumed it was a dream. The way that the camera's moving, the way that you hear the wind
mentions a
and
dream,
the sound.
doesn't he?
Yeah. So I didn't know if all of that was just happening. I didn't know if it was just a discrete dream that we were exploring. But the way that we keep coming back to it does suggest to me that this is a parallel story that's happening. But because she's
Yeah.
been scarred in the context of the atomic bomb, like that to me was sort of the thematic mirror to the larger. For me, like I just think there's this one shot when they're in the cafeteria and it's an overhead shot and you see the back of his bandaged head, and then everything you're seeing on the ground is just the construction of skyscrapers. I don't know if this is an area that's being rebuilt because it was bombed during the war, or whether this is a new development period, but that to me has such a Western aesthetic to it. The idea of the skyscraper, even the way that this cafeteria looks, is so Mad Men coded. Like it's so chunky, mid-century modern, that the parallel storyline and what it's explicitly saying about the atomic bomb and the effect that it had on Japan, with what's happening in the city more on an urban alienation standpoint in this rapidly modernizing society.
Yeah.
That's where I kind of think the westernization is the parallel. between
Yeah, one
the
thing
two.
I was
It's coming
thinking
from
about,
that dream part.
I blame all my problems on the internet, you know? And this movie made me think, oh, I probably still would have been lonely before the internet. You know what I mean? It's like we always find these, we think that our relationship to our emotions and to society are specific to what we are experiencing. But like these are things that humans have grappled with for a long time, and especially like you said in the 60s, in various cultures, not just Japan, there was this real sense of isolation and an inability to connect, and with the threat of nuclear war, which still hangs over us today, as Catherine Bigelow will let us know.
Haven't seen that yet, by the way.
That's okay. It's not great.
I'll probably talk about it next week when I talk about my topic
that's
later.
your next.
It's kind of
movie.
tied into my next topic.
Yeah.
No, I agree, and I would just add one more element to this, which is in the film In the Shadow of the War, which, keep in mind, 1966. It's not like the war was 5 years previous. Like
Right.
it's we're fully like 20 years, like two
There are
decades,
teens
basically.
who
Yeah.
did not experience the
who didn't
war at this
experience
point.
it. So just to be clear, like this is not a movie that takes place in immediate post-World War II Japan. But I thought it was so interesting that they keep frequenting this German beer hall as well, because of course that evokes the Second World War as well. And questions around national identity, and I mean, just not to overstate it, but so much of the film is about a mistaken sense of identity, or like a sense of unmoored identity, and like grasping to reflect, to find a way of reflecting yourself in a true way that gives your life meaning. And it was interesting insofar as what the film is saying around Japanese society and culture, that the main place they go to hang out and drink is the German beer hall,
Right.
Yeah.
which is such a reflection of the 2 decades previous for the country. What would Don Draper think about this movie is the last thing
I kept
that I would
thinking
say.
about Mad Men while watching
Yeah.
it.
Do we think that he snuck out to see it on lunch? I think he saw Woman.
absolutely.
I think he saw Woman in the Dunes.
Right.
So he
'Cause
probably
that
did.
definitely. I don't know what this movie did theatrically in the United States. You know, because Woman in the Dunes was a breakout,
Best director nominee.
and so he definitely saw Woman in the Dunes. And this is after Woman.
So
in
he
the
was
Dunes.
probably aware
Yes.
of this movie, but maybe didn't see it.
Yeah, like this movie.
We would have
probably,
to
like,
look into
came
the
to the New
theatrical
York
release.
Film Festival, and I doubt that like Don Draper was going up to Alice Tully Hall. You know,
No, not unless he was meeting a woman.
yeah.
Yeah, so Woman in the Dunes was only 2 years previous. So I would.
Now I have to watch that one.
I guess this is like a reminder that it wouldn't hurt to do a little bit of research going into these episodes because
Yeah.
I would love to just know how many. I don't even know if this box office data is available because it's
Right.
60 years old. 60 years old now. But I would be curious like how many screens in New York it was on. I think Don Draper would have liked it. I don't think it would have been a Revolver moment for him, even though this is also postmodern.
He would have really felt he understands what it means to just decide to be a different person.
Exactly.
That's why I thought of Don.
I loved at the end when the doctor and our lead are sort of engulfed by a sea of faceless people. And that's
Yeah.
also the other element of the internet for me is like everyone
I
feels
love that
everyone
shot.
feels this way.
Yeah.
You know, everyone's
all the
desperate
covered
to try on a
faces.
new persona that also protects them from having to actually show themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
I thought it rocked. And
I thought it ruled.
I thought it
Thank you
rocked
for
and I
bringing
thought
it
it
to us.
rolled. Yeah, of course. I'm happy that we all were vibing with it. And it also, last thing I'll say, it made me think about The Substance a little bit.
Okay,
And-
I
Yeah.
felt insane thinking it made me think of The Substance, so I didn't bring it up because I didn't want to feel dumb. So I'm really glad you said it.
I
Made you
was
think of The Substance.
the whole time I was like, please be relevant that I can log this on Letterboxd with. I think there's been a slight misuse of The Substance.
Yes.
Like,
Which I
I'm
guess it kind of
thinking
could be.
back, like, why did it make me think of The Substance? But there were moments watching it, I was like, this makes me think of The Substance. But now I'm like, I don't know, remember why.
Well,
There's
I mean,
just the grotesque.
Yeah, I guess like putting on like when they were like making the mask or like.
And he can
putting
only
on the
wear it for
mask.
12 hours.
there's a
at
12-hour
time.
That's
rule.
what it was,
There's
the
a 12-hour
time
To
rule.
limit.
respect the balance.
Yeah.
That's what
the
made me think
time
about The
limit,
Substance.
that's what it
Apart from
was.
the themes, of course. by
Yes,
the way,
you
just
had
so
to
we can-
take it off. You can't leave it
There's
on.
Mom.
Mom agrees.
Mom's
Mom
back.
agrees. That's what
And
made
so
me think of The Substance.
made me think of The Substance, and also made me think about a Elizabeth Taylor film called Ash Wednesday that Ben and I watched together a couple years ago. Do you remember
Which
Ash
one
Wednesday?
was that?
Oh.
I hardly remember.
Ash Wednesday is available to screen on YouTube, I believe. It is a film where she plays a decrepit old hag who has gone to the Swiss Alps to have facial
That's right.
replacement surgery
right.
because her
Fantastic.
husband, Henry Fonda, doesn't want to go to bed with her anymore. and so she emerges looking like
no.
Elizabeth Taylor.
Oh, she's
And Henry Fonda
Taylor,
wants
suddenly.
nothing to do with her. It is. I
no.
think, Ben, correct me if I'm wrong, apart from you see a photo of him, I think it is a phone-only performance from Henry
Dude,
Fonda.
I
is
think that's
fantastic.
right.
Because he's fallen in love with a younger woman. He wants nothing to do with Elizabeth. And then she has an affair with Helmut Berger while staying at a medical facility in the Alps. It's
That is
crazy. It's a
fantastic.
crazy movie.
What a film.
And it opens with actual footage of the facial replacement surgery.
That's
And
right.
and then it's otherwise largely like a woman trying to get her groove back movie. But if you look at the poster for the film at the time, it really leans into like you won't believe the surgeries they can do now. They can replace your face.
Your
The
face.
poster is like overheads of like
Replace the
good
face.
segue to the Pit. It's like doctors in scrubs and like face masks with like sutures and scissors
won't
like
believe it.
ripping her face off.
Yeah.
So I thought about Ash Wednesday as well.
Yep. Good
Is
movie.
it time for the Pit?
Anyway, that's Hiroshi
The Pit,
Teshigahara's
Pit
The
o'clock.
Face of Another.
It's Pitt o'clock. So my coworkers have been talking about the Pit for long back when it was still only nominated for things, and I was like, I'm not watching the fucking Pitt. But I finally watched the Pitt. And now I can only talk about it with an exclamation
the
point.
Joy of the Pit.
Wait,
I
Brandon.
understand.
So
What?
by just watching the Pit, are you saying you're only a couple weeks into the Pit?
Oh yeah,
of loving the Pit.
I've only just entered Pit Mania like 2-3 weeks ago.
Because
I
I'm 2
binged
days into
all
the
of
Pit,
season
and
1.
I'm 2 days into the Pit, and every single member of that cast is a member of my family.
Right.
Like but the thing about the Pit is I can't tell if it's actually good television. And that is the mystery of the Pit for me, and I would love your guys' takes on that.
I think it's
Let's unpack that. Let's unpack
it's an
that.
elevated procedural.
Yes.
Yeah, it does feel elevated. I think the format sometimes works and sometimes pisses me the fuck off. Like season 2, now that I have
The
to go
format is that the show is in real time, essentially.
Thank
For
you.
those listeners who have not seen it.
Which,
Yes.
yeah, which
So
by
it
the
takes-
way,
it's every
so-
episode is is an hour of their 15-hour shift.
The
whatever.
season is a single shift.
and in my opinion, so I didn't know that. And when I started watching The Pit and the title card came up 7 a.m. to 8 a.m., I'm sitting
Were
there
you
thinking to
shook?
myself, you have got to be fucking kidding me. This is total hack trash. Like they're not only bringing back the medical procedural, they're ripping off the 24 format as
Oh,
well.
yeah, baby.
Fuck this. And then 5 minutes later, I was like, well, yes, of course they need 24 milligrams of glucose. That's how you're going to save her life, of course.
Right.
They need the glucose,
And
of course.
My issue with that is like, okay, no one has a day that is that, right? I'm not going to
I
spoil
think you
it.
do. I think you do when you're working in the Pit.
I think that's the point that they're making with the format is maybe once a
All
year
of that?
you're going to have a day like that.
With all of that?
I mean,
Daniel doesn't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, so I don't want to spoil it, but my other
there's going to be a
issue
bomb
with-
threat. Is it about the rats? I'm 3 episodes in.
Okay, I won't spoil it. But my other issue with the format is now that I'm at season 2 and I'm forced to wait week by week, I'm getting pissed the hell off. I want to wait
You
until it's
can't
all out.
binge. Yeah.
I want to wait till it's all out. I think it's a binge show.
Yeah.
I
wait.
watched it 1 episode a day, basically. I don't know that maybe I did watch a couple
I can't
at the
wait.
same time, but I'm
I
just
do
not
think
a
it's
binger.
going back to Brandon's question because I think it is really interesting.
I do think it's
especially
quality
around the
TV.
Pit.
I'm glad it's sweeping at Emmys because it's something new, it's something interesting, it's something different.
But it's a fair question to say,
Mm-hmm.
is this show actually good, given the fact that I won't repeat myself, but it is stealing a format from like an iconic format.
Yeah.
It can on paper seem like a retread of something like ER. So is this just a carbon copy of something and it's comfortable and familiar to voters?
Right.
Voters. I mean,
Yeah.
I do mean Emmy
And
voters,
viewers.
but just audiences writ large because it's such an audience hit. Who are dying to go back to the days of ER, even though, by the way, there's like 10 million, like Chicago Med and
Right.
like
But
there's so many
those-
medical procedures on TV.
But
the point of
something about
awards-
this is elevated more
So-
than all those
but
med
so this
shit
is-
shows.
This is I can finish my point really fast, which is because this is winning awards, and yes, is just like a polished version of that. Is that a cheat code? You know, does the film deserve its does the show deserve its accolades just because
I
it is
mean-
scratching someone's itch and it has a nice sheen on it?
I-
I think that it is shot extremely well. I think the performances are across the board wonderful. I
Yeah.
think that the characterizations on the script level, the way that they are so discreetly drawn, and in 3 episodes, I know who everybody is, and there are so few scenes that are not about how everybody's reacting to a specific
Yeah.
patient. That is tremendously skillful, in my opinion.
I agree.
And I'm one to roll my eyes at, I guess I should be invested in this because, you know, the stakes couldn't be higher. It's literally life or death, and we're talking about someone's teenage son. Again, kind of feels like a cheat code to get to my emotions. But it is handled with such a sort of rough grace or like a matter of factness around like how you manage that situation and manage that pain that I find myself extremely moved by it ultimately.
Yeah.
I can go on, but someone else should speak.
On the flip side of that, I agree with everything you're saying, but it's also the type of show where it does feel like a brain smoother, and I also feel like I don't have to look up sometimes.
Yeah.
So like,
Okay,
what
so
is
talk
that-
about that point, because you were so right when you texted
So
that.
what
the other
is
day.
that? What is that dichotomy that I'm experiencing with this show? That I do think it's quality, but I also feel like it's just doing something to you.
It is created for the social media era, but it is,
because
and I
they're
think that
explaining everything they're doing, but they have to because they're doing medical things.
right.
Yes.
Literally every single line of dialogue is like, oh, and this one's always doing this, and that's how we establish a character trait. And I think so. Back to the awards, I think it is doing so well with awards because, for a lot of reasons, I will try to make all of these points quickly. Number one, it is kind of the first show that has been able to do like an elevated network thing at the pace of TikTok. So there's that. Then there is the fact that it is an LA-based production, and we are giving work to people, and not just work. It is 15 episodes, and they've committed to a season a year, which is very rare for television these days. So if this runs for 10 years, we're talking 150 episodes that they're going to
Yeah.
make of this. And
People want that work.
there are dozens of speaking roles per episode. Like,
Right.
I
Even
think
the background.
This
the
is keeping
nurses,
half of
everyone.
SAG-AFTRA employed.
Yeah.
And I agree with that. That
Which is
labor point
great.
is so important, Ben, in terms of engendering goodwill in this town.
people want to support that, and with a show that's good, they're happy to do it. And then I was going to say to Daniel's point a moment ago, like, it's a good show because the emotion that I feel in it is real. Like, you can't discount it. That it's like you're watching the worst moment of a lot of people's lives, and it really touches me to see all of the different ways. It's just nice to see people helping each other, and
It
to
is.
see people who want to do good and sometimes
People
fail.
being competent at their jobs.
There is a
But sometimes
soothing
they
power of
fail,
that.
and that's nice too. It's like it's very real. It's not completely fan service fantasy energy.
It goes beyond mere competence porn, which I do, of course, think there's an aspect of that. Why people enjoy watching the show, because there is something so comforting about someone saying something confidently. But as simplistic as it sounds, there is obviously, because they're doctors, an altruism to the work that is being done. But because they're all being presented as, and again, sounds trite, but I think it's executed so well it doesn't matter. They're flawed people. They have lives inside and out of that ER, and you get
And
little glimpses
somehow
of
you
it.
get a vibe of it, even though the whole thing takes place inside.
Yes, but the fact that they are joined together in this altruistic goal of saving lives and making people's lives better by keeping them alive. I mean, have we become so cynical that when a show does that really well that you would want to roll your eyes at it? I think
Yeah.
it's moving, and
I do too.
I simply like it. And
I
I
watched
love
it at a
I
very
love the Pitt.
difficult time in my summer and fall, and I would come home and watch the Pit, and it would make me feel better. And
I also enjoyed Friendship.
It is oddly a comfort show for something so, grisly at times
Yeah.
and devastating at times, with Noah Wiley, spoiler, like crumples down and cries. You're like, oh my God.
Oh, I can't wait for that. I mean, I think it's an extraordinary performance. I also think
he's
he won an Emmy.
incredible.
I think he also won an Emmy, partly, of course, for the ER callback, but also just for being hot and being good at his job. And
Yep.
and I would have voted for him too.
yeah,
Of
of
course,
those
I don't watch
things.
any. I should have foregrounded. I don't watch any television, so the fact that I'm watching the Pit,
Right,
I'm also
right.
like, did you know
Oh,
they're
that's
making
the other thing I
television in
wanted to bring up.
2025?
Yeah.
know.
I also watch no TV. I'm very, very picky about my TV. I'll watch Chair Company, Industry.
Gotta
like
watch
I
the
got
Chair
I got like 3 shows
Yeah.
tops, and now the Pit's on the list. So good
I
for
also
you,
think
Pitt.
I think that this show has done a
Good
nice,
for
and again,
you, Pitt.
I'm only 3 episodes in, but has done a nice job of introducing the COVID
Is
trauma
Mr.
element.
Rogers there yet?
I don't know. I don't think so. Is Mr. Rogers a patient?
Yeah, there's a character who like had a children's TV show, like a local access TV show.
I think it's the name rings a bell. Maybe someone.
It's the
mentioned-
dad that the
but
mother.
I haven't gotten
can-
to him yet. I haven't really gotten to him
He
yet.
must show. He probably shows up. You're about to see him.
I think it's really hard for an audience to want to watch what you've created if there is an element of COVID involved, because everybody is so eager to move on from it. But I do think that sort of the cherry on top of that first episode is the flashback to COVID. And you realize that if we were going to be invested in anyone's COVID trauma, it would be the people who were literally in the belly of the beast
right.
during that time. And the way that the show is like dealing with like just around access to mifepristone, the fentanyl crisis, accidents that happen when you're on a Zoom scooter, like again, like teenage isolation in the internet age, and then also the COVID hangover of all of it. I think it does a really nice job of actually presenting the world that we live in without it
does.
just being a number of
does.
buzzwords or pointing to signposts. And the way I watched the show in episodes 2 and 3 completely changed after the introduction of the COVID flashback in 1, because now I'm watching the show like I think that we're all I think we're all still living in the hangover of COVID, and no one wants to talk about it. But it was 6 years ago. Like we're months away from the 6-year anniversary of lockdown, and yet it is still front of mind for so many people. Not the lockdown aspect, not even like if you lost people. Like I had family members who died of COVID. I think everybody kind of knows somebody, but just the way that it has boiled our brains. Insofar as social aspects are concerned, the way that we process time, the way that we process any stress whatsoever. Like now I'm basically watching the show through the lens of, oh, this is just what it's like to be alive in America in 2025.
Yeah.
That's kind of the lens I'm most interested in watching the show now.
When they bring each patient in, it is like a little tiny like glimpse. They're doing. Sometimes it's a little contrived, like, oh, this case is the this case is the this. But like, I think it is nice to see every corner of social issue that they can bring via a different patient.
And it doesn't necessarily feel like
anytime they bring in that social worker, I just feel so soothed.
Love her. It just,
I feel
but
so
what we're
soothed.
talking about could so easily be Maudlin or movie of the week,
Right,
bullshit.
but it's not. It's handled.
It's
better
handled
than
very
that.
matter-of-factly, and it doesn't gild the lily on any of this
Matter-of-factly.
stuff.
I feel
And
like
that is
the
how I think it
editing-
gets away with it.
Yeah.
The editing is very good too because it knows when to cut away. It
Yes.
doesn't
It's
linger.
It's just very sharply made.
Yeah.
I think I love
Thoughtful.
I'm kind of a sucker for like a dirty like meaning over somebody's shoulder group shot where you can gauge multiple people's reaction to one piece of stimuli, and the way that is, it's both highlighting the acting, but it's to me like a major feat of direction and cinematography as well in terms of
It's telling the story.
It's simply visual storytelling.
Simply visual storytelling.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so low key, as soon as we get off the mics here, I'm
Are
throwing
you
on
popping in the pit?
I'm popping in the
yeah.
pit.
I actually
I'm
have
popping in the
episode
pit.
2 to finish
Let's
of
get in the
season
pit,
2.
baby.
So let's wrap this up.
I
so
wish
I
it was
can
a
go watch
bottomless pit. I wish there was more than 15 episodes. Come on, the pit.
Pit.
I will say I love Dana Evans, the woman at the front desk who's sort of managing the whole ship. Didn't
Emmy
she win an
winner.
Emmy? Yeah, she
Yeah.
won an Emmy. Yeah,
Not such the role to win an Emmy.
totally.
The charge
It was like
nurse.
the moment I started watching it, I was like, oh, Parker Posey is not winning an Emmy this year. I just knew it. I knew
Wow.
Yeah.
You called it.
Kind of instantly iconic performance, in my opinion. And I'm not
Even
just using that
before,
word.
oh,
I mean,
you're-
in the look, the attitude. Oh,
not
I can
even
tell
in
we're just ramping up with her.
You're just.
Right. And I
also
you're
love-
not
she-
even in
she,
the thick of it with her yet.
She shares a name with a women's basketball player who is like a real like trash talking like crasher outer.
Oh, that's
on
gotta
the
be on
Las Vegas
purpose.
Aces.
That's gotta be on
I
purpose.
don't think it was on purpose because
Similar to the character, though.
WNBA. Okay, maybe so, but I did also get a kick out of the fact that her name is Dana Evans.
That's
For that reason,
wonderful.
I guess that's all I have to say about the pit, apart from the
Yeah.
fact that I'm loving it, and every time they wheel somebody else into that pit, it's not like I
what
get
do we got?
excited but it's sort of like
Yeah.
what's up next. It's like this
I just joke
relentless
that I can do
slow
a
drip.
crike now because I've seen so many.
What's that? Is that when they rip open your neck?
That's the throat thing.
Yeah, we keep seeing that.
And everyone's getting bagged. Bag them.
They got to get bagged.
They got to get
They got to
bagged.
clear beds. They got to clear beds. So
What I would like, one more thing that I would like to add is I read that is about the pace of an actual emergency room. That's about how much time a doctor spends with each patient.
I heard some ER people can't wash the pit after work because they feel like they're clocking in again.
Yeah.
It's very accurate.
I'm
like
glad you brought. I'm glad you
accurate.
brought that up because I do think that's the other aspect that should be invoked in terms of why this show is good.
Because it is so accurate.
Yeah, I mean, I think verisimilitude is
watching
overrated
people
to some
work.
extent, but in this environment, I think the fact that it has been recognized
It
as
works
such an accurate
dramatically
depiction,
for them to do it.
and that they can have both things, right? That it can be dramatically satisfying and rich, and like every episode is this collection of short stories almost, but that it
Yeah.
also does match the real to life experience.
Yeah.
Of so many people who operate in that work environment. I just think it's very impressive. And I'm sure that as the pit goes on and decreases in quality, I'm going to be embarrassed to have been this excited about it, just
No.
like Modern Family. But
It won't
you know,
decrease.
we'll see.
I don't think this is the type of show that decreases. I think it just stays the course.
They'll
And
just
It doesn't
always
need to
be-
change what it's doing. In my,
No.
it does not need to change what it's doing.
it'll keep chugging along. I'll keep looking at Whitaker, that little gay boy.
He
Whitaker.
has
He gets a. You see the cunty new haircut he gets?
no, I haven't gotten to that yet. Does he have a little mullet?
He does a mullet, and we all know
That's
why,
good.
right, Ben? Because he lives with you know who.
Yeah.
She's like, let me give you a cunty mullet.
Why do I recognize him? By the way.
I don't know. He's like Irish in real life or Scottish.
Oh, really?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. On the
I
red
mean, I
carpet,
just-
he's like, hello.
I want to take a nap in the bags under his eyes like I'm in a hammock.
Same.
Yes,
You know?
the bag.
How does he make eye bags look cute?
It's that sad European look.
Yeah.
It really,
Sad
it really is
European.
evocative.
It's because of the famine. He looks
tea.
that way because of the famine.
Generational trauma.
the DNA was altered.
Okay, do we have to?
Permanently.
We talk about the last thing we watched, right?
Oh yeah. Well, I watched View from the Top, and
Mine was. Do you have anything to say about View? We already talked about View from the
All right,
Top.
well, the last thing I'll say about View from the Top is I found it really interesting as something I'd never seen before from 2003. Realizing
Gwyneth
the
Paltrow on an airplane.
yes,
I can't wait to
which
watch
is
View from the
exciting.
Top.
Obviously Legally Blonde had such an impact on the culture, but I appreciated getting to see Gwyneth's turn up to bat with Legally Blonde, Miss Congeniality, these movie star lady-led comedies that were made for a broad audience that have themes of feminism and empowerment and beating the odds to achieve your dreams, and this one has a class element as well.
An underdog hero.
And of course,
She got to
that's
do
really
one.
just what I mean, and that she got to do one, and I think
And
she's
she got to do
fundamentally
Shallow
miscast,
Hal.
but I think she's fun in it.
Shallow Hal. We didn't talk about Shallow Hal. I don't
I haven't
really
seen
remember
it.
it,
I haven't
but I
seen it.
saw we rented it a lot
Yeah.
in my childhood.
I wish I'd watched Shallow Hal. I mean, I'm glad I watched View from the Top. I
Doesn't
think
Jason
that-
Alexander have a tail in that movie? I'm almost certain he does.
The way we are speechless right now.
Yeah, I don't know. Did you
I
guys know that
believe
J-
you. I just don't remember.
Jason
it.
Alexander directed a production of Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf and La Mirada. That is playing now, and I'd
beautiful.
like to go
Does he have
see
a
it.
tail?
It'd be funny, like in his
go.
director's bio, like the last sentence. He also has a tail. Since 2003, he has proudly sported a tail.
Wow.
The costumes and production design in View from the Top should have been Academy Award nominated, though. That's my
yeah.
nice thing I'll say about it. It looks like a Jacques Demy movie.
It does. It's very. The world building is really rich in it.
And I mean, like the contrast between like the roadside, or I would say the roadside diner, but just like the sort of flea-ridden greasy spoon next to the regional airport in Nevada versus the sort of smooth interiors of the Royalty Airlines training facility, which does look like something almost out of Tati. that contrast is really wonderful, I think. And I should have looked up who did the production design of that film, but I think it's a wonderfully designed film that, for me, is completely preposterous. Parentheses, derogatory. But maybe I'll get really stoned and watch it again in 5 years.
And you'll see that it's a beautiful
and it's
film.
a secret masterpiece. I mean, no one wanted me to agree on the secret masterpiece.
Ben called it a masterpiece in his log.
I tried to
With
get there.
4 stars, not 5, though. But Richard
but that's-
Ayoade wrote an entire book about how it's the greatest movie of all time.
Yeah, I had forgotten about that until after I watched it, and then I read that book exists, and I should have read it. Maybe I should have read it. Maybe I'll read it now.
Probably.
Ben, what was the last thing you watched?
Real Housewives of Salt Lake City.
Did
Also,
anything happen?
one of the most elevated shows of the year. Also, I'm not kidding. I think it's
Is that the best Housewives franchise?
currently running for sure.
Edition?
Is this current
Definitely.
season up there with Erica Jane COVID season of Beverly Hills?
I mean, that was just unreal. But this was this was quite substantial. I will say that. They were really getting after some of these girls,
Nice.
you know.
Are you still watching Beverly Hills?
I allegedly am, but I think I've only watched the premiere of this season. They're so boring now, but Dorit is so beautiful. That's what I have to say. Like, I'm always just like, she is so pretty.
Worth the price of admission.
Yeah, I'll keep my thoughts for another episode on Beverly Hills. I kind of agree.
Yeah, I'm just
The
like,
mystery of Garcelle's disappearance, I think, is not that deep, but as a big
and I hate
Garcelle
that
fan,
new
I do
woman
like that
who
they're
lives
talking
in
about her.
Kyle's old house.
Oh, Rachel?
No, not her. Rachel Zoe. I'm
Bose?
familiar with. There's a second new woman.
Oh, I haven't met her yet. I haven't met
The
her
blonde.
They're multiplying.
Okay, maybe I have.
yet.
Watched a couple
I
episodes
think
then.
Bose is a fantastic addition to the Housewives.
Bose is fun.
But I think it's too bad that she's in such a boring milieu around her. And I have mixed feelings about Sutton, but I think that
I have
Sutton
a lot of
shouldn't-
mixed feelings about Sutton.
But Sutton should not be driving storyline. And I stand up for
I thought
Sutton.
you were
'cause
saying
I-
Sutton should
she
not be
catches a lot of
driving.
heat. She shouldn't.
She lives
Okay.
on a main road.
Sutton's house is such an embarrassment. She lives on a main road. She has no privacy, and
lives
then
on Beverly
three quarters of her backyard is a tennis court. Why does she live there?
It's a good question.
You want to live off the main street when you're rich.
Can she not afford it? Because
She is so fucking rich.
her
because
ex is like a partner at Barclays. Like,
yes, she is unbelievably rich.
yeah,
And she's got Sutton by Sutton. But
that's right. Her
you know,
fake
apart
job.
from, yeah, I remember. Well, whatever. This isn't interesting, but I'm kind of, unfortunately, probably dipping out of Beverly Hills soon. But I have such an allegiance to the
Yeah.
franchise. And by the way, dipping out because I feel like I should get in on Salt Lake City.
It's better. It's the only one
hear
that's
that.
really giving to me this past couple of years.
Is there a new season of Potomac since Karen Huger's gone to jail?
Yeah,
I
she's
hear
currently.
Potomac's good.
I love
Yeah.
Potomac.
It hasn't been for me the last couple of seasons. It hasn't
Yeah.
really hit. I don't know.
I'm not as invested. I'm maybe 3 seasons behind on Potomac, and it's not nearly as good as it used to be. But
The
every
first
time I
like
throw it on, I enjoy it.
4 or 5 seasons of Potomac are some of the best TV I've ever seen.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Those women were ready to put on a show, and they did.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and now it's weird that Salt Lake hasn't like frozen yet, because they all do sort of become frozen, and like it's like they know how anything they do can be wielded against them in the press, and so they stop fighting. But the Salt Lake women, they either don't care or they don't have the capacity to help themselves.
That's entertainment.
That's a ringing endorsement. I gotta finally get on Salt Lake City.
Brandon, what was the
Brandon.
last thing you watched?
The last thing I watched was Jane Campion's Bright Star because I'm
that's
still
right.
in my yearning era.
Bright Star.
Yearning era.
Incredible
and
movie.
it was the saddest movie I've ever seen in my entire life, and I wanted to die.
One of Jane's best films.
You gotta stay out of the rain.
You do.
Oh
Don't
my
go
god!
outside in the
Why
rain.
did the rain do that to him.
It was a different time. I like
she was like he doesn't have a coat and he went to London. I'm like, he'll be fine. Oh God, he's not. Why
No
is
way.
he so bloody?
he's
I think
quite
you can
frail.
spoil it. He's a historical figure, you know?
Totally.
I don't
But
want to
he's-
spoil
he-
the life of
he-
John
the-
Keats
The Ben Whishaw
from a
performance
billion
has that.
years ago.
It has that Emily Mortimer in 30 Rock avian bone syndrome thing. Like
Yes.
he
He's
Also,
trips-
why didn't you
he's
fucking
frail.
show him a
He
coat,
dies.
bitch?
Literally.
That's a good question. Doesn't he
Where
get
is
shipped
the
off
coat?
to Spain or something at the end
He
of
goes
at the end of the movie?
he goes to Italy to live out his final. He's
To
like
Sun.
they're like he needs a warmer climate. And
So
he dies.
that is
Frodo
some-
getting on the boat.
Precisely. And this is a concept I think we should be bringing back. The idea that if you're under the weather, you should be sent to a warmer climate. You should
Yeah.
be, if you have a job, paid
Shit
out
me
by
on
your
the boat.
job. Yeah, exactly. To
I'm
like
frozen.
the
The
Canary
trees
Islands
are
or
about to
something.
explode here. It's so cold.
Like,
Well,
has
maybe we can
healthcare
get you to
become
Southern
so
California.
fucked up that they can't send people to the coast anymore?
That's what I'm saying. That's what
know?
I'm saying.
My God.
I mean, have you heard of a little vitamin C?
Yeah.
It'd be funny on the Pit if he's like, okay, we got to get you out. So we got to get them outside right now in the sun. They have like the mirror reflector, like tanning things. It's like sticking
need
them
the
under.
sun.
I bet somehow it was Rockefeller's doing that we don't send people to the sea anymore. You know, he had his
Please
hands in
elaborate
everything.
on that.
Just he's sort of the root of it all to me. Anything that's bad about modern society that has changed how things were done for millennia. You know what I mean? Western medicine, Western
fault.
schooling.
He's the
It all
root of the
comes-
rot in the
Yeah.
tree of life.
I think somebody should look into this.
Somebody
So,
should.
so if you could email us
Keep
at
eyes on
moviesIMO pod,
Rockefeller.
email us your
At
findings.
are we gonna
Let us know. Did Rockefeller fuck up the hospitals?
We're going to community police Rockefeller. If you, we're not gonna let him get away with it.
We're not.
Decades later, I mean more than a couple decades later.
Practically centuries. More
Yes.
than 1 century.
So everybody
gonna
keep your eyes
cancel
peeled.
John
Keep
D.
your eyes peeled.
Rockefeller.
That's the overarching
Cancel.
project of the Movies IMO experience. The cancellation
I think we're
of
done
Rockefeller.
here.
Okay,
We're
so
done here.
we should say
Oh, yeah, we have to
what
say
our
I
topics
was
are
about
going to
to
be for next week.
Cut us off.
Yeah, hopefully that was enjoyable. I mean, I guess kind of the idea on this buffet of topics is to reflect that we just kind of like talking about a range of things and we don't want to be bound to just whatever new release happens to be out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
We would
won't
much
ever
rather-
think about ever again.
No, like I love this format and we would much rather just have a wide-ranging conversation about things that maybe don't have much in common with one another. But this is actually like if we were out having dinner or at the bar and we were talking about like what were we watching this last week?
That's
The
right.
conversation would
This is how it
probably go something like this.
Yeah, we're just hanging out, and we just happened to hit record.
That's right. And I hope everyone enjoyed listening in.
Yes. And we're doing this every 2 weeks for
Enjoy.
time immemorial. We're going to
You will
run
see
the
how
gamut of
long.
some crazy topics.
That's right.
Okay, so for next week, I can go first. We can
Okay.
so we can tell people what we're going to be doing next. So you have every episode, you'll have 2 weeks in between to, if you want to prep by watching this stuff. We do spoil stuff here because we're not precious, and now most of the stuff we're talking about is decades old or at least a
Yeah.
year old. So you know,
So you
can't really
should
spoil.
know it already.
You can't spoil To the Lighthouse, which, spoiler, we will be talking about at some point in the next few months. We'll be talking about Part 2, Time Passes, from Virginia Woolf's To the Lighthouse. But not next week. Okay, so next week, my topic is Spike Lee's Highest to Lowest. And just the concept of the disappearing streamer movie, if we want to go into that angle. Because
Great.
Yeah.
I somehow did not see Highest to Lowest last year, and
Sounds great.
I want to talk about why I think that is. Even though this is not a new movie podcast, my next topic is going to be what is, for all intents and purposes, a new movie. Highest to lowest.
Wonderful. I will be bringing. I've been reading off and on for the last year or so. Goldwyn, a biography about Samuel Goldwyn, one of Hollywood's founding fathers, who was not well liked by many, many, many people. He was one of the original founders of Paramount, fired from that. One of the original founders of MGM, fired from that. He coveted, for many years, 20 years, he wanted that Oscar for Best Picture. And he finally got it with the movie that we are going to talk about, which is William Wyler's The Best Years of Our Lives. He thought he was going to win it for Wuthering Heights, which will be the 1939 Wuthering Heights, which will be a topic on this podcast also soon, but not then. And I read this in the book that he used to tell people, I made Wuthering Heights, William Wyler just directed it.
Oh.
T-clocked.
So I guess we'll see.
Wow, we will certainly see. My topic, in honor of her fresh Academy Award nomination for Sing Song Sung, whatever that movie is. Kate Hudson, everyone.
Kate Hudson.
It's
Yay.
Kate time. It's Kate o'clock.
Kate-a-sons.
It's Kate o'clock, and we'll be watching whatever
Yeah, do you have specific
We're gonna be-
titles
we're gonna
that you
be-
want to throw out?
I'm gonna
Sailing
do,
down the Hudson.
I'm gonna do 9.
I'm actually gonna write this down for myself.
I'm gonna do. I'm so sorry. We are gonna do How to Lose a Guy.
Okay. I don't
And
need to
then-
rewatch that. I can speak
I'm
to it.
You
also
can
not
speak to
rewatching
it
that,
from
but okay.
from memory.
Yeah.
And then we're
I've
gonna
seen
do
it
almost-
a lot.
We're gonna be doing Almost Famous because I have not seen that before. Isn't that fun?
I think you will love Almost
Yeah,
Famous.
I will
a fun
simply love
movie.
it. Let me make sure I'm not missing one. I would also like
You
to
would like
do
include The Skeleton Key.
Bride Wars and Fool's Gold and Mother's Day.
I'm just kidding. Almost Famous.
Bride
How to
Wars,
Lose.
Fool's Gold, Mother's Day,
And of course, Sing Song Blue. We gotta watch that one. She gets hit by a car.
which of course is not the name.
I saw it. Okay. I
Oh,
have
yeah,
already
you did.
seen it.
You did
I recent-
see it.
Theatrically.
I had the twist. I had the twist.
People were
spoiled
singing
for me.
along.
I can't wait to.
Theater.
I can't wait to hear about how that made
They
you feel.
thought we were in a sing-along Wicked screening. These boomers
You were.
surrounded by boomers. A hellish experience.
We will not be talking about Sing
I
Song
can't wait
Blue,
to hear more.
but we
I will be
talking
watching
about
it at home.
Almost Famous, How to Lose a Guy, and 9. Thank you. Goodbye.
Great.
And I think that we can add we can add movies to that without telling
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
If we want.
Whatever.
Last thing I wanted to say was I've been haunted by a comment that I made on the last episode, which was that I wasn't sure if James L. Brooks had cast any Simpsons actors before in his movies. Yardley Smith, of course, has a fairly prominent role in As Good as It Gets, as I believe Greg Kinnear's agent. And
Oh, I didn't
just
know.
a little, I'm just a little embarrassed I said it. So the
I
record's been
would've- I
corrected.
wouldn't have remembered that.
Yardley
right.
Smith,
Someone
As Good
said
as It Gets.
Very important record.
I spoke with
correction.
my stylist about Julie Kavner the other day. Speaking of Ella McKay. Should we do a quick 20 more on Ella McKay? Oh, just that he loved that he loved her on Rhoda.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, I could go on. I'm not sure how interesting it'll be. I was getting a kick out of it. He told me some of his favorite Julie.
Was this
Kavner
that fellow
moments on
barber?
Rhoda. Yes. Did you end up
Wonderful.
getting your hair cut there?
I did actually, and again on
It looks
just
good.
Saturday, I went to
Look at these fresh
CJ.
cuts.
Who?
If anyone in the
cut it?
LA area would like a good haircut, I recommend CJ at Fellow
CJ.
Barber.
Wow.
So CJ at fellow. Okay, good to know. I'm wondering if CJ did mine. Well, I'm not. I've been going to the same barber there, I guess, for 3 haircuts, but I don't think we know each other well. Well, I'm just like I don't want to say his name on mic. I'm scared.
Sure, I already
No,
did.
I'm
And
scared. No, I know, and I wish I was as brave as you.
I mean, the only bad thing that could happen is that they don't get more work out of me saying their name.
Issue.
on the-
I just feel maybe
on
I'll
the
describe
mic.
it at some point, but my relationship with the stylist there, it feels very private and special, and I'm.
You don't want
it
to
feels
reveal.
weird. It feels strange to say.
You don't want to
his
make
name
any
aloud.
reveals.
I can't. I can't.
I
yet.
understand. I do
I can't.
understand.
It's very private.
On that note, thank you everyone so much for listening to Movies IMO. I guess we should. I mean, I don't really care, but please rate. I guess leave us a review if you like.
Review.
Get
Tell
in
your
touch.
friends.
Leave us a hate
Actually,
comment.
low key, something that I would be interested in if you used to listen to the podcast and you're listening again now and you want to send us an email or something just to say hi, we'd love to hear from you.
Yeah.
We'll read it live.
Moviesimopod@gmail.com.
Correct.
I think that's right.
Is that right? Okay,
Correct.
cool. Yeah, but with
Right.
that, I mean, I'm ready to go watch more of
Good
The
night.
Pit.
Enjoy
Pit.
the pit.
Yeah, I'm
It's
gonna
time
go
for
get
the
my
pit,
pit on.
baby.
I'm trying to get
Watch
my
The
pit
Pit.
on.